Hey guys, Gino here. Today I brought out my Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. This is actually the third video that I'm going to be doing on this handgun. The other two videos I didn't really talk about the gun that much. I just fired the gun, and so today I'm going to go over the gun just a little bit more in detail. I'm also going to attempt to shoot this thing out to 100 yards. I have targets set up from 10 yards out to 101 yards. I won't go over all the dimensions of the targets now. At the end of the video I will go over the ranges to each target, and I did use a laser rangefinder to set in the targets. So quickly about the gun, this is the 3-inch Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. 686 Plus designates that it does hold 7 rounds as opposed to normal revolvers which hold 6. This one does have the 3-inch barrel, which is nice because it gives it that full underlug. It also has the lock. No one really likes that, but I think that Smith & Wesson is not going to go away from that. I don't think. I think we're kind of stuck with those. There are little plugs you can buy to put in there, but let's look at the sights real quick. The rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation. I have not touched the windage or elevation on the gun. After attempting to shoot it out to 100 yards today, I may be tempted to do that. We'll see. The front sight is a ramp. The first portion of the ramp, or lower portion, is serrated, which helps cut down on glare. Same thing with the top of the pistol. There's serrations on the barrel and the rear sight. You can see up here higher on the ramp they've put this orange insert, which is really nice when you're finding the tip of that front sight post and lining it up to take your shot. That's about it on the gun. It's a really nice gun. These are the original grips that came on it. There are a ton of accessories that you can buy for these guns. Wooden, really pretty grips, holsters, you name it. They make it. So let's talk about one of the great things about this gun is that with the 357 Magnum, it'll also shoot 38 Special. So today, what I am going to shoot, I have the Arms Core 158 grain full metal jacket 357 Magnum, and I'm going to be shooting more of the Sauer and Bellet 38 Special. It's also 158 grains, but obviously it's going to recoil a lot less. It's going to be a lot easier to shoot than the 357. A lot of people talk about the difference, what's the main differences between the 357 and the 38. It may be hard to see here. I'll try and line them up. The 357, the casing is actually just a little bit bigger. The 357 has a lot more velocity when it exits the barrel of that weapon, which gives it more foot-pounds of energy when it impacts on the target. Basically, a 357 is a souped-up 38, but it definitely has a lot more stopping power, which I know stopping power is one of those things that's really hard to define. A lot of people talk about it, and it's hard to get someone who actually knows what they're talking about. So stopping power is basically the foot-pounds of energy when the projectile, or the bullet in this case, impacts the target. The 357 Magnum generates about 500 to 700 foot-pounds of energy when it impacts a target. The 38 Special generates about 200 to 300. So there's a huge difference on the energy as it hits the target. You go back to the old adage that, and I'm going to go ahead and load this up while we're talking and do a quick demonstration on what I'm about to talk about here. You go back to the impact on the target, or the stopping power of a bullet, and there's a lot of discussion about that. I don't want to get into it too much because I haven't really studied it a whole lot other than to kind of realize the physics of it. But there is the old joke that, let's get that one. A 22 has a lot more stopping power than a 357 if it hits the target. If you miss the target with the 357, yeah, your stopping power is pretty much nil. So what I want to do real quick is I'm going to fire 7 rounds as fast as I can, and let me adjust the camera, on these two silhouettes. These two silhouettes from where I'm firing will be at exactly 10.1 yards. So just a hair over 10 yards. So I'm going to load up first 7 rounds of 38 special. Like I said, I'm going to fire these into one of the two silhouettes as quick as I can. I'll come back, reload, and fire 7 rounds of 357 Magnum and see how controllable it is. And I will be firing these all double action. That's the 7 rounds of 38 special. Now let's do the same thing with 357 Magnum and see how that works out. And I have to say, this is not exactly scientific. It is what it is. So there you have it. There we go. 38 special, 7 rounds. .357 Magnum, 7 rounds. With 357 Magnum. .38 special. All right, let's do this with 357 Magnum. There you have it. There's my little scientific experiment of the controllability of 357 over 38. So now what I want to do is go ahead and start engaging the targets. Like I said, I have targets, these closest ones are at 10 yards. The farthest target is a black silhouette out at 101 yards from the shooting position. So let me go ahead and load up, adjust the camera, and we'll get started. that was the 100-yard target. I hit it a couple times. Let's reload and try that again. I think I may have only hit it twice, but 100 yards. This is actually the first time I'm trying this too, guys. I haven't already shot at this. Alright, that was about 3 hits. Not too bad, I guess. So now I'm zoomed in on the little under 80-yard target, around 77 yards, I believe, when I put it in, and the 101-yard target. Let's try and hit that 101-yard target. I'm still using the 38 ammo also, if you're curious. Alright, I hit it a couple times. Kind of happy with that. Alright, so now I'm going to zoom in on the 70-yard target. I wanted to make sure you saw that was the target I was zooming into. Alright, I'm going to reload real quick while we're still zoomed in. Alright, let's zoom back out. And I don't know, let's go back out to the 100. Hey, I can actually see the marks on it now. That doesn't tell me where to aim though, they're all over. about it for the 100-yard target. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. Hey guys, that ends the shooting portion of the video today. Real quick, I was going to show you the gun. This revolver is filthy. If you remember the beginning of the video, I had cleaned it from the previous video. It was pretty clean. Now this thing is filthy. Even if you look at my hands, just the carbon and smoke from those 38 and 357 rounds. But I'll have fun cleaning that later. As promised, I was going to give you the exact distances to the targets for those of you that are actually interested. The way I range the targets is this SIG Kilo 2000 laser rangefinder. I personally really like that laser rangefinder. It's the only one I've ever owned, so I know the Leicos and things like that are probably a lot better, but they're a lot more money. So real quick, the two targets on the left, they're the close-in ones. They're at 10.2 yards. The first black 6-inch gong, let me zoom in on this a little bit, that one is at 21.6. Then we go to the white gong, right there kind of in your center. That's a 10-inch gong, and it is at 30.5 yards. And then to the lower left of that, you see the black gong. That one's actually at 40.3 yards. Zoom back out. All right. This white, the first white silhouette, or the only white silhouette, is at 52.7 yards. And we go to the first black silhouette here, and that is at 77.1 yards. So just shy of 80. And let me zoom back out and find the long one. So the last target on the range, that black silhouette there, is at 101 yards even. So there you have it. And I got to tell you, getting some hits on the almost 80-yard and the little over 100-yard targets, that was kind of awesome. See you next time.